Again, good morning. So, this week 5. So, basically, by next week, that would be your prelim examination week. Next week. Okay, so anyway, our topic last week is about dictionary and also yung list, tuple, sets, and dictionaries. Okay, so for this week, I'll be discussing to you the conditional statements of Python. And also conditional statements, looping statements, while loops. And for loop. Okay. So let's start with the conditional statement. Okay, so Python conditions and if statements. So Python supports the usual logical conditions for mathematics. So for example, we have the equals, not equal, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. And so basically the output of this one is Boolean. When we say Boolean, the output is true or false. So these conditions can be used in several ways, most commonly in if statements and loops. An if statements is written by using the if word or keyword. So for example, so A has a value 33 and B value is 200. So if B is greater than A, so this is the syntax for that. And then it will display B is greater than A. Let's try. So the output is B is greater than A because the condition, this is our condition, the condition is true. But what if the condition is false? So for example, B is less than A. So basically our condition is false, right? So if the condition is false, then nothing will happen. Because yeah, B is 200, 200 is less than 33, so this is false. So basically it doesn't have any output. It will display B is greater than A if the condition is true. So in this example, we use two variables A and B, which are used as a part of if statement to test whether B is greater than A. As A is 33 and B is 200, we know that 200 is greater than 33. So we print to screen that B is greater than A because the condition is true. Indentation. Python relies on indentation, the white space, at the beginning of a line to define scope in the code. Other programming language or languages often use curly brackets for this purpose. You will get an error. Print B is greater than yung white space. So if you notice, it should have a space here in this part. So if in case that you forgot to put the white space or the space in this part, it will get an error, syntax error. Ayan. Syntax error, not you have to put some white space here para wala siyang error. Ayan. Okay. Indentation. And then we have the elif. So the elif or elif keyword is Python's way of saying if the previous condition were not true, then try this condition. So if the first condition is false, then it will go to the next condition. Okay? So for example, this one, A has a value of 33 and B 33, same value. So if B is greater than A, print B is greater than A. But basically our condition is false because 33 is not greater than 33. So false itong condition na to. So it will not display this one kasi false. Now if the condition else if A is equal to B, print A and B are equal. So basically this is true because 33 is equal to 33. So this condition is true. So it will display A and B are equal. Yan. Okay. So the first condition is false. Then it will go to the next condition. And then if the condition is true, then it will do this one. It will display this one. Next. So in this example, A is equal to B. So the first condition is not true, but the elif condition is true. So we print the screen that A and B are equal. Next is we have the else. The else keyword catches anything which isn't catched by preceding conditions. So for example, if all the conditions are false, then it will go to the last option. So the last option is else. So print A is greater than B. For example, A is equal to 200 and B is equal to 33. So we have the first condition, B is greater than A. So basically this is false kasi 33 is greater than 200. This is false. So it will not display this one. Next it will go to the next condition. So B is equal to, A is equal to B. So this is false because 33 is not equal to 200. So this is false, so it will not display this one. So it will go to the last option, which is the else. So it will display A is greater than B. The A is greater than B. So in this example, A is greater than B. So the first condition is not true. Also the elif condition is not true. So we go to the else condition and print the screen that A is greater than B. You can also have else without the elif. Yeah. So for example, if the first condition is false, so it will display this one. What if? Let's try. What if the first condition is true? Yes. So the first condition, if you notice, the first condition is true. True siya. Pag true, so definitely it will display this one. B is greater than. Yeah. Though this is logically error, we have a logical error. But in our syntax, it is correct. So this is our syntax, by the way. Our syntax is correct, but the logic is wrong. The output is wrong. Why? If you will notice the sentence, B is greater than A, but definitely the 33 is what? 33 is less than A. So we call it logical error. Okay? Anyway, if the first condition is true, then it will display and disregard the other conditions. I-disregard niya na to, hindi niya natitignan kasi the first condition is already true. Okay? Yan. Try natin yung mali. So, B is greater than A, so this is false. But what if the first condition is false and then the second condition is true? So A is greater than B. So it will disregard this one because the condition is false. And the second condition is true. So it will display this one. Though again, this is logical error because if you notice A is greater than B. A is greater than B. A is less than. Wait. Sorry. A is, the first condition is false. B is greater than A. So it will not display this one. A, 200 is less than B. This is false also. This is false, so it will not display this one. But it will display our option, which is A is greater than B. Gawin ko itong true. A is greater than B. A, 200 is greater than B. A and B are equal. Okay, so again, though our syntax is correct, but our logic is wrong. Our output is wrong. Anyway, our first condition is false. So, hindi niya to gagawin. Our second condition is true. So, gagawin niya na to. It will display this one and disregard the other conditions. So, tama. Okay? Next. Shorthand if. If you have only one statement to execute, you can put it on the same line as if statement. So, for example, in a one line if statement, we have this one. Pwedeng daw siya, isang line lang. So, rather than having this, yan, you can do na lang a one line condition. Okay. Shorthand if else. If you have only one statement to execute, one for if and one for the else, you can put it all on the same line. So, pwedeng ganyan daw. Print A, if A is greater than B, else print B. Okay, so, one line. This technique is known as ternary operators or conditional expressions. We do have also ternary operator in other programming languages. Anyway, you can also have multiple else statement on the same line. So, one line, if else statement and three conditions. So, print A if A is greater than B, else print equal if A is equal to B, else print B. So, one line. Next is AND. The AND keyword is logical operator and is used to combine conditional statement. So test if A is greater than B and if C is greater than A. So both. So for the AND, take note if you are using the AND, both conditions should be true. So dapat yung dalawang condition is tama. Okay? Dalawang condition is tama para i-display ito. So, in our example, A is equal to 200, B is equal to 300, and C is equal to 500. A is greater than B True or false? A is 200, tapos yung B is 33. So, definitely this is true. Right? This is true. And our C is 500, and 500 is greater than 200. So, this is true. True. So, true and true, both conditions are true. So, the output is, it will display this one. Both conditions are true. Both conditions are true. But if in case that, gawin natin ito mali. A is greater than B, this is true. But C, 500 is less than A, 500 is less than 200. So, this is false, right? This is false. So, we don't have any output. Wala na siyang output. Because, in this condition, both conditions are false. One of the condition is false. So, wala. Hindi niya ito gagawin. So, again, for the end, both conditions should be true. But, if one of the input or one of the condition is false, it will skip. Hindi niya ito gagawin. Saan to? Let's see. We have the AND. We have the truth table kasi. We have the AND truth table. Tamang-tama computer engineering. Yan. So, using the AND gate or AND gate, AND gate. Ito na lang. Using the AND gate, complex na siya. Ito na lang. Ayan. So, using the AND gate, if one of the input daw, diba? If one of the input is 0 or false, pag false siya or 0 siya, the output is false. So, in the AND gate or AND truth table, both conditions or both inputs should be true para true yung output niya for the AND. Ganun din sa programming. Same with true with the programming. So, this is true, pero the second condition is false. So, hindi niya ito gagawin. Okay, dapat both conditions are true. And then we have the OR. The OR keyword is logical operator, and it is used to combine condition statements. So, test if A is greater than B or if A is greater than C. Okay, so let's go now to our truth table. For the OR truth table, if one of the input is true, pag true daw siya or 1, the output is 1. Okay? In programming naman, if one of the condition is true, pag true daw yung isa sa mga condition niya, so the output is true. Okay? So, let's see here. A is greater than B. Tama, 200 is greater than 33. So, our first condition is true. And or A is greater than C. A is greater than C. This is false. Tama. False na to. 200 greater than 500. This is false. Okay. But it will display this one. At least one of the condition is true. Because one of the condition is true. Yan. At least one of the condition is true. Pero pag all of the condition are false, so basically wala na siya. Hindi niya na ipapakita yun. Right? Wala. It doesn't have any output. Next, we have also the nested if. You can have if statement inside if statement. This is called nested if statements. So, for example, x is equal to 4 to 1. Then x is greater than 10. Then print above 10. Okay. But if x is greater than 20, then print and also above 20. So else print but not above 20. See? Yan. Our first condition is true. So if our first condition is true, then it would execute this line of codes. I-execute i-reread niya to or i-execute niya itong line of codes na to. If this condition is true. But in our example, this condition is true. 41 is greater than 10. So true, tama siya. So it will display above 10. Then we have another condition, our nested if. Then x 41 is greater than 20, so this is also true. Kaya it will display and also above 20. So for example lang, above 10 but below 20. For example, 15. So basically, the output will be what? X is x15 is greater than 10. This is true. So above 10. But 15 is greater than 20. So this is false. So if it is false, this condition is false. So it will it will display this one as because this is the option. Okay, but not above 20. So we have this output above 10 but not above 20. But if in case that our first condition is false, 1 is greater than 10, so basically this is false. So it will not execute this line of code. Hindi niya na to gagawin. So basically it doesn't have any wala na siyang output because our condition is false. Okay, check ko lang yung hello mic test. Yan, okay naman yung audio. Hopefully. Kasi yung last recording ko ay yung audio niya. Anyway, yan. So that is for the nested if. The pass statement. If statements cannot be empty, but if you for some reason and have an if statement with no content but in the pass statement to avoid getting an error, what is the pass statement? Is if statements cannot be empty. Okay, hindi raw siya pwedeng wala or empty. But if you for some reason have an if statement with no content, put the pass statement to avoid getting an error. Anong tawag na nila dito? I forgot. Okay, having an empty statement like this would raise an error without the pass statement. Pag wala daw tayong statement, ang tawag nila kasi dito statement to. Ito. Yan, nag-error daw siya. So, if in case na there are some instances na you don't need to put the statement, ilagay nyo na lang daw na pass para hindi siya mag-error. Okay, so wala siyang output. So, test yourself with exercise. Ito, print hello world if A, try natin to. If, siguro to if yan. If A is greater than B. Bakit meron yun? Ay, semicolon. So, Ayan. Tama ba? Submit answer. Correct. Second exercise. Print hello world if A is not equal to B. Paano yung not equal niya? If, syempre condition yan eh. Semicolon to. Ano yung not equal na? Ganyan ba yun? Not equal. But in other programming language kasi, in other programming language, the not equal is this one. Yung less than greater than sa ibang programming language. But, let's see. Baka ganito siya. In other programming language naman, ganito yung not equal niya. So, let's see. Correct. So, tama naman. Next. Print yes if A is equal to B, otherwise print no. The condition to if. Sabi niya, if A is equal to B, then print yes. Else if ba yun? Or else down. I forgot. Comment tayo. Ito yung exercise. Else. Else tapos yun. Semicolon. Correct. And so on. So kayo nang bahala dun, marami pa siya. So that is for the conditional statements. Now let's talk about. So we're done with the conditional statement, may past statement, and exercise, etc. So we're done with the if statement. Now let's go now to the looping statement. Kasi the looping statement is our last topic for the prelim. So Python loops. Python has two primitive loop commands. We have the while loops and we have the for loops. The while loops, with the while loops, we can execute a set of statements as long as the condition is true. As long as the condition is true, then it will execute the lines of codes at saka yung looping niya. So print I as long as I is less than 6. Bakit pinakita ko na yung output niya? So, ganyan muna. Okay, so here I is equal to 1. Dapat pala meron ako. Para mas lalo natin maintindihan. Gawa ko ng Excel for the simulation. Okay, so the first value daw is 1. Okay, so yung I is 1. Next, then we have a condition here. While is, para makita natin yung output. While I is less than 6. So, kung papalitan natin yung the value of I is 1, then 6, anong output niya? 1 is less than 6. So, this is true. So, sabi doon, if the condition is true, as long as the condition is true, so maglo-loop daw siya. So print I. I-display niya, ilagay ko lang dito yung display. I-display daw niya the value of I. Print I. They call it simulation I. So the last value of I is 1. Then next, mag-i-increment siya. Mag-i-increment. Now, ito kasi yung value. This is the value. So, true. Tapos, syempre, 1 yan. Kaya 1 yun. Yung I. Ito naman, I, 1 plus 1, magiging 2 na siya. Right? 2. Now, the condition is true. So, it will pupunta ulit para siya dito. Conditional ulit. Yan. So, paulit-ulit na lang siya dito sa looping statement. So, I is less than 6. The last value of I is 2. Okay, yan. I is equal to 2. So the last value of I is 2. So 2 less than 6. True pa rin to. True. And then, yan. Pupunta pa tayo dun. Print I. So palaw din lang dun. Print I. So the value of I, the last value of I is 2. So 2. Tapos, mag-increment ulit yan. So, increment. So, now, the value of I is 3. Bakit 3? The last value of I is 2 plus 1. 3 na ngayon siya. Tapos, balik ulit tayo. Parang paulit-ulit lang yan. Copy-paste ko na lang. Hindi ko na pumunta doon. So, I, again, the last value of I is 3 less than 6. This is true pa rin. So, the value of I is equal to 3. So, it will display 3. Tapos, increment. So, I is equal to 4 na. Kasi the last value of I is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. Gets? Next. Tuloy lang natin. So, the last value of I is 4 less than 6. True pa rin siya. So, print I. The last value of I is 4, display 4. Then, I is equal to 5. Kasi, actually, ganito pa nga yan eh. So, 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Ganyan pa sana yan. The last value of I is 4 plus 1 is equal to 5. Ulit-ulit yan. Same. So, the last value of I is 5 less than 6. True. The last value of I is 5. Display 5. Then, I is equal to 5 plus 1. So, 6 na yan. Tingnan natin. Magiging false kaya siya. So, 6. So, the last value of I is 6 less than 6. False na to. So, stop na siya. Stop na siya dito. This is how you will simulate. Okay? Yan. So, the output is, it will display 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 lang. Okay? Let's see. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Kasi the last condition, yung sa looping statement niya, the last condition is false. So, nag-stop na siya. So, hanggang 6 na. Okay? Yan. But, pag nilagyan mo naman siya ng equal dito, so definitely, hanggang 6 yun. Kasi condition is true na siya. Tama, 6. Kasi, pag nag-increment siya, 6, 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 is less than or equal to 6. This is true. Tama, true ang condition niya. So, it will display 6. Ayan. Next. Break statement. So, with the break statement, we can stop the loop even if the while condition is true. So, exit the loop when I is 3. Pag sa gitna niya, okay, pag sa gitna niya, na-detect niya yung 3, it will break daw or stop. Let's see. Sasimulate natin ulit. Simulation. Pero masyado, sige na hanggang 6. Okay, I is equal to 6. Then we have a condition here. Okay. So, 1 less than 6. True. If the condition is true, execute yung nasa baba. Print I. Display. Ito yung value. Para makita natin. The last value of I is equal to 1. Display 1. Meron tayong condition dito. If I is equal to 3, this is false. False. False siya. So, Pag false, if this is false, so skip nyo to kasi false naman yung condition. Okay, so pupunta siya dito sa next line. Okay, by the way, itong condition na to, hanggang dito lang siya, yung condition. But the looping statement is hanggang dito. So, ibig sabihin, this is not included in our if condition, but rather, this one is included in our while condition, or while looping statement. So, dito siya. So, pag-increment, I is equal to 1 plus 1 is equal to 2. So, the last value of our I is 2 na ngayon. 2. Tapos, babalik siya dito. Okay. Looping statement ulit. Tapos, the last value of I is 2 less than 6. True. Less than pa rin naman siya. So, the condition is true. So, okay lang. Continue. So, the last value of I is 2. Yung last value ng I natin is 2. So, 2 ngayon dyan. Next, condition. If I, so I is 2 is equal to 3, false pa rin to. So, pag false yan, hindi niya na ito muna gagawin. Okay? Tapos, papunta na siya dito. Increment. So, I is equal to the last value of I is 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. Okay. Then, condition ulit. Condition. Tapos, last value of I is 3. 3 less than 6. True. Print I. I is equal to 3. So, display 3. Print. Tapos, condition. So, 3 is equal to 3. This is true. Now, if the condition is true, break. Okay? Pag nag-break na siya, it will stop. So, according to our reference, with the break statement, we can stop the loop even if the while condition is true. So, even the while condition is true pa rin siya. Pero, in our condition, nag-true na siya, so it will break or stop the looping statement. So, basically, the output will be what? 1, 2, and 3. Right? 1, 2, and 3. Tama. Okay? Next. Sana ko kasi walang ganun. Papakita. Okay, for loop statements. Okay, so for the for loops is used for wala na ba yun? That is our while loops. Wala na. Ito na yung last niya, break statement. Anyway, next, so we have the for loops. Python for loops. For loops is used for iterating over a sequence that is either a list, a tuple, a dictionary, or set, or string. This is less like for keyword in other programming language and works more like for iterator method as found in other object-oriented programming language. Example. This one. Okay, so for example, this one, we have the apple, banana, and cherry. And then here, for X in fruits, for each in fruits, display X. So, all our items in our list will be displayed. So, we have apple, banana, and cherry. So, print each fruits in the fruit list. We have the X in. For the loop does not require an index or indexing variable to set beforehand. Looping through a string. So for example, here x in banana, look through the letters in the word banana. So isa-isa yan. So B-A-N-A-N-A. B-A-N-A-N-A. Okay. Break statement. So same with the break statement, you can stop. You can stop the looping statement. So for example, that. For x in fruits, so isa-isa niya yan. Yung mga list natin, we have apple, banana, and cherry. But if i-display niya. And then if x is equal to banana, pag nakita daw niya na yung banana, then it will stop the looping. So basically, it will not display the cherry kasi nahanap niya na si banana in the middle. Next, so exit the loop when x is banana, but this time the break comes before the print. Okay, anong kaibahan daw niya? This one, ito kasi di-display niya apple, banana. Kasi di-display niya display. And then, if x is equal to banana, then break. Kaya apple, banana. But here, in our example, the second example is, yung print is at the last part. Okay, so for example, x is x in fruits. So the first value is apple. Apple is equal to banana, false. Diba? Pag false, if the condition is false, so it will not execute this one. Pero it will print niya si apple. Okay? Then it will go to the next item, which is banana. So x in fruits, banana. Banana is equal to banana. So we break niya. So basically, pag stop niya na yan, it will not display. Hindi niya na i-display. So the output will be apple lang. Apple lang. Tama. Hindi katulad na apple, banana because the print is at the last part. Okay, next. Yun na. Wala na ba? Wala na. So that is our last topic. Okay, so next meeting, next week will be our examination week. We will try to combine. Now, next week, I mean tomorrow, wait, meron ba tayong schedule for tomorrow? I think yes, we have a schedule tomorrow. Meron tayong schedule ng 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock or 10:30 tomorrow. So, I'll be discussing to you naman tomorrow how we will combine the looping statement, conditional statement in a dictionary. Okay, so that's all.